Hi, my name is Camille Vanasse. The Academy Awards nominations came out last month, so we decided to get the predictions of a few students and faculty members. First, we talked to Mr. Delman about his prediction of the best movie of the year.
I thought there are a lot of great films in the Best Picture category this year, but the one that sort of stood out for me is Zero Dark 30, and I really like the idea that Catherine Bigelow made an action film that's probably as powerful as any action film I've seen made by a man, so that was just really interesting to me. And then at the other end of the scale, Lena Dunham is getting lots of attention, although she's not up for an Academy Award. She's getting a lot of attention for her work in film, which is very sensitive and different, compelling in a different way, so at the other end of the spectrum. So in a way, the men are kind of getting squeezed into the boring middle, which is kind of cool. And then also taking in that middle ground, Angelina Jolie is in the process now of directing a new film called Unbroken, which is going to be sort of a Hollywood blockbuster. And so she will sort of be, hopefully in the next year, or maybe next year, sort of in the same position that Ben Affleck is in now, of an actor turned mainstream, very successful director, very interesting director.
Up next, we talked to Matthew Marvin about the contenders for the Best Picture.
Well, I've seen Argo, Zero Dark 30, Silver Linings Playbook, and Lincoln. And personally, I think Lincoln will win because I think Steven Spielberg's a big name and he directed it. And I think the Academy's big on historical movies, and I think they like when an actor portrays a real historical figure. And since Daniel Day-Lewis and Sally Field were so good as real people, I think they'll definitely take that into consideration.
Abolishing slavery settles the fate for millions now in bondage and unborn millions to come.
It's either the amendment or this Confederate peace. You cannot have both.
We also asked Matthew about Argo and its Oscar potential.
Ben Affleck for Argo is not up for Best Director, so I think it will be hard for them to give Argo Best Picture because the director is not up for Best Director.
Next, we asked Justin Sullivan if these nominations were representative of the best performances of the year.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, I saw Lincoln, and that was some of the best acting performances I've seen maybe ever. I think the acting categories are also really accurate. Like, for example, Daniel Day-Lewis is incredible. But I saw The Master, and The Master, I'm a very big Paul Thomas Anderson fan, and I've loved There Will Be Blood and Punch Drunk Love, stuff like that. But I didn't think this movie was his strongest in terms of screenplay, directing, whatever. However, Philip Seymour Hoffman's performance and Joaquin Phoenix's performance were amazing, maybe on par with Daniel Day-Lewis. I think that they are very big contenders in both their categories. And then one of my favorite movies of the year was Moonrise Kingdom, but it wasn't a masterpiece. It wasn't like some of the other stuff that was written, so I understand that it was only given the best screenplay nomination.
Lastly, Lauren O'Connor shared with us her thoughts on Django Unchained's potential for winning Best Picture.
I saw most of the movies nominated for Best Picture, but my favorite was Django Unchained. Django is my favorite because I'm interested in American history, and I liked how Quentin Tarantino brought a more modern feel to the movie. It was definitely, I don't think it'll win Best Picture, but that's okay. It was my favorite. I think that Argo will win Best Picture because of all the hype that's been brought about towards that movie and what it's won in the past award shows this year. But Django is definitely my favorite.
Bullseye. Come on over. We got a fight going on that's a good bit of fun.
Coco, give me some sugar.
So you really free?
Yes.
You mean you want to dress like that?
You can definitely see the trend this year with the historical movies that they've been the best movies of the year, so I think that says something. But I definitely feel that Django Unchained was one of the better movies because it had more of a modern twist to something more historical. I also really loved Zero Dark 30. I thought that was one of the more interesting movies that's nominated this year, and I definitely think that it was interesting.
As you can see, everyone we interviewed has different opinions. Tune in on February 24th to see who wins the awards. From the Pingry News broadcast, I'm Camille Vanasse, and thanks for watching.